Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello everyone, welcome to Swayam Prabha, Channel 15 for the course title Human Resource Management. The lecture title is Recruitment and Selection, Module 6, Lecture 1. I am Dr. Shoma Sengupta, Associate Professor, Commerce, Kamla Nehru College, University of Delhi. In this module, we will cover the following topics: concept of recruitment, nature and objectives of recruitment, steps in recruitment process, recruitment policy, factors affecting recruitment, sources of recruitment, guidelines for effective recruiting, concept of selection, steps involved in selection procedure. In this lecture, we will cover up to the internal sources of recruitment. Concept of recruitment. Once we are through the manpower planning process, we know the number and type of human resources or employees required during a particular period of time. Now comes in picture the recruitment process. Now, what is recruitment? See, when an organization identifies a need for human resources and realizes the needs are more than the current supply which is available in the organization, there comes the human resource management function of discovering the potential candidates for actual or anticipated organizational vacancies and motivating them, once you have identified, motivating them to apply for the jobs in the organization. One definition by Flippo states that recruitment is the process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating and encouraging them to apply for jobs in an organization. If we look at the definition, there are two clear parts of the definition. One is searching for prospective employees and another is stimulating or encouraging them to apply for the jobs of the organization, in an organization. So this is the process of recruitment. But this recruitment needs may be planned, it may be anticipated and unexpected. So planned and anticipated are a little bit similar, in the sense that in planned way we already know about the organization's retirement policy. So you are preparing in advance to fill up those vacancies which are going to be created because of the retirement. So that is plan. Anticipated goes on the similar lines, in the sense that here you do a kind of a trend analysis to find out the number of separations which will take place in the organization, and you come out with a recruitment policy. So the anticipated vacancies may be because of the number of people who will be leaving the organization for some reason, in the sense that they are going to file resignation. So this you can find out from the previous years or trend analysis. So that is anticipated and you are preparing. Suppose we say 1% of people will resign from the organization, so you are making a policy or a program to fill up the vacancies through recruitment and selection for those vacancies. Now, and the third one is unexpected. Something unexpected has happened in the organization, and because of that you have to recruit, like in the sense that there is a death in the organization, or death of the employees of the organization, or there is an unexpected order which you have to fulfill, and because of that you have to take up more number of people for a short period of time. So that is an unexpected vacancy created in the organization, and for that you have a recruitment plan. Nature of recruitment. Recruitment is a process. It involves a series of steps and activities which we are going to discuss later on during this module. Now, for a recruitment process, there is a procedure which an organization has to follow, right from taking the requisitions to finding out the sources, analyzing them, and selecting the best source. Then comes that it is a positive process. Now it seeks to develop a pool of eligible persons. So they want that more and more number of people should apply for the jobs in the organization. So unlike selection whereby we reject people, this is more positive in the sense that you are stimulating people to apply for the jobs in the organization. Although we will see that in one of the steps like preliminary interview, in a way it is negative also, that or even during when you advertise, you put certain requirements which in one case it is what is doing, it is a positive phenomena that people should apply for the jobs, but it is negative also that those who are unsuitable must not apply for the jobs in the organization. Then it is a linking activity. It links the job givers and job seekers. So we call it a linking activity through advertising, through consultants. What you are doing, you are recruiting people, and so it is a relationship between a job giver and the job seekers. Then the next characteristic is the purpose. The purpose is to locate the prospective employees and motivating them to apply for the jobs. So that is the main purpose. It is a pervasive function because it is performed by all organization at all levels. So during the initial stage of when organization is born, you have to do recruitment, and during the over the phases or growth of the organization or different phases of the organization also, at every level there will be requirement and recruitment will be carried out. Then it is a continuous function, as we are discussing that since the birth of the organization till the winding up of the organization, what is happening before winding up, when the organization is running, there will be people who will be doing the job and they will be leaving the organization, and again you have to fill up the vacancies, or there will be certain requirements here and there and you have to recruit people. So it is not a one time phenomena, it goes on as vacancies are created. Once you have recruited people, you will find that over a period of time again people are leaving organization or vacancies are created because the organization is, suppose it is expanding or something is happening in the organization, and vacancies will always be created. So it is a continuous phenomena. Then it is a two-way process. Recruiter has the choice whom to recruit or not, and on the other hand the prospective employees can also choose where to apply. So this is a two-way process. If both of them clicks, that is the requirement of the organization and the interest of the employee, that that gels well, then the recruitment will take place because the employees will apply for the jobs in the organization. Then it is a complex job. It is affected by many factors like image of the organization, nature of the job, working condition, compensation offered, demand and supply conditions in the labor market, government's rule. So anything may happen in the environment, or any change may happen in the organization which will have its impact on recruitment. Objectives of recruitment. The first objective is to generate a pool of potentially qualified job candidates. So recruitment ensures a pool of candidates who will apply for the jobs in the organization. So if you have larger number of applicants, you have wider choice. Then the selection procedure can take place and you have wider choice, and you can select the best one. But if the recruitment process, there are flaws in recruitment process, then what will happen? Very few people will apply for the jobs in the organization, and you will not enjoy that wider choice. So that is the first objective, to generate a pool of potentially qualified candidates. Then the second objective is to identify potential job candidates fit for the job openings. You will know that whenever an advertisement is put up in any of the medium, all the requirements of the organization for a particular job is mentioned therein. in fact the job description, little bit of job description, and especially the job specification. So the potential candidate will look for those advertisement, and they will find out whether they are suitable for it or not, and they will apply for the jobs in the organization. So organization is getting those potential candidates who are fit for the job. The third objective is to increase the number of potential candidates at a minimum cost. So from the first objective, we know that we want a pool of candidates. Now we have to select a recruitment process which will ensure that more and more number of people will apply for the jobs, but at a minimum cost. So if we are giving a mass scale advertisement, then actually we are reaching people from whole of the country, and we will get applicant from whole of the country. So this is increasing the number at minimum cost. So per unit cost will go on reducing if the number of candidates applying is more. To increase the probability that the selected candidates will stay with the organization for sufficiently long time. So in recruitment process itself, you are matching in a way the job with the specification of the job specification with the qualification and qualities of the employees. So those who are fulfilling those criteria, they are applying for the job. So there is a matching in the sense that they are fit for the job, and they will not leave the job because recruitment process is quite expensive. So if people leave quickly and you have to recruit again and again, the cost will mount. So you have to ensure that right type of candidates are applying for the jobs. To evaluate the effectiveness of various recruiting techniques. So here again, you can look back and find out whether those recruiting techniques that you are using is giving you the results or not. Are they efficient and effective or not? So this you can find out through the next year's recruitment program. Then the last one is to meet the legal and social obligations of the organization. For example, in a country like India, there are many legal and social obligations. If we talk about legal, there are number of laws which affect the recruitment process also. You know that when we retrench or lay off the people, so while recruiting when the organization comes back to business, then what will happen? You have to take back those people whom you have recruited, retrenched or laid off. So that is a provision which is mentioned in different acts. Likewise, there are certain social obligations also. For example, reservation policy is there, and there is a ratio percentage of people you have to take from different groups like SCs, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, and physically handicapped or challenged people also you have to take. So moreover, if we go to different state, you will find that they have their own legal and social obligations, in the sense that if you are doing business in Gujarat, you have to recruit 80% of people who are domicile of Gujarat for the jobs. So that means that there are certain legal and social obligation of a place which you have to follow. Steps in recruitment process. The first step is receiving personnel requisition. Now the HR department will get a requisition or requirement for personnel from different departments, the different line departments, say production department, finance department. The requirement of people or employees, that is in the form of personnel requisition, which will be received by the personnel department or human resource department. Then second step is locating and developing the source. Once the HR department gets the requisition from different departments, what they will do? They will work on the recruitment plan, in the sense that they will identify or locate the or develop the sources of recruitment. Sometimes organizations already have a tie-up with some consultancy firm, which whenever there is a requirement, the HR department, they contacts these consultancy firm, and they provide a pool of candidates for them. Then identify the prospective employees. That is finding out the employees with or locating the employees with necessary skill. Suppose you want fresh MBA students, then naturally the source of recruitment will be the certain management institute. So that is identifying the prospective employees and then communicating the information, like what are your requirements in the form of specifications you will mention. You will give a kind of a job description also in the advertisement, or wherever you are sending any requisition, you will mention all those things. Plus, you will also inform about the salaries you are going to give, or the compensation package for the job, the timings, working condition, anything you can give in that information. Then encouraging the identified candidates to apply for jobs in the organization. So you will use certain motivating lines so that they should apply for the jobs in the organization. And the last is evaluating the effectiveness of recruitment process. So once you are through with the recruitment, you have got the pool of candidate and all, the recruitment process comes to an end, and again you can look back whether you have got sufficient number of prospective candidates or not, or if there is a deficiency, you can find out the reason behind it, and you may change the recruitment policy for the later period. Recruitment policy. Many organizations, they have a proper recruitment policy at place, and every year they refer to this recruitment policy, or every time whenever there is a recruitment requirement, they refer to the recruitment policy. Now, the points covered under recruitment policy may be: first is centralized or decentralized. Whether the decisions to be taken in a centralized way or decentralized way, whether the recruitment process will be taken place at a centralized way, that means the top management deciding, or the departmental heads deciding the requirements of recruitment. Then next is inside or outside sources, whether you will depend upon the internal sources of recruitment or the external sources of recruitment. If a combination of two, in what proportion, or for what type of or what level of jobs. Then weightage to be given to local population, physically handicapped, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Now this is you know that we have already discussed that there are certain legal and social obligations which an organization has to fulfill. Proper weightage should be given, and that will be because on private sector, the all these rules of the government are not totally applicable, but to remain in the good books of the government, the organizations, they follow the government's rules also. So this will be decided here. Degree of flexibility regarding sex, education, qualification. So how many males, how many females, what type of age group combination you are going to take, the qualification requirement, all this will be, you have to find out whether you will stick to some policy and very rigid, or there will be a scope of flexibility or not. The personnel involved in the recruitment process. So there can be a proper recruitment cell, which may be a permanent one, or which may be created for a particular recruitment drive. And then you have to also man the recruitment cell with a manager. So there will be a recruiting officer who will be ultimately responsible for the recruitment process. Then the budget which will be allocated for the recruitment function. Then evaluation of the recruitment process, as we have discussed earlier also. Once you are through with the recruitment, you have to look back whether we have got the adequate number and type of people or not. So this is the whole of recruitment policy. Factors affecting recruitment. The internal factors as well as the external factors may affect the recruitment plan. First of all, organizational image. If the organization enjoys a good image in the market, people will definitely apply for any of the vacancies which may occur in that organization. So they have the better chance of getting more number of prospective candidates. Suppose Infosys comes out with a job vacancy, then there is a chance that they will get more number of prospective candidates for their vacancies. Then the size of the organization, bigger organization, renowned organization, again they have better chances of getting more number of applicants. The personal policies of the organization also decides the recruitment plan, whether they will go for internal recruitment or external recruitment. So that is one thing. Moreover, the personal policies regarding compensation, that will affect others. If the outsiders get to know that this company pays well, then they will of course apply for the job. So that in another way also personal policies will impact the recruitment. Then job attractiveness, attractive job, good packages, of course more number of employees, more number of prospective employees will apply for the jobs. Union interference, sometimes union interferes, that you have to like generally trade unions are in favor of internal sources of recruitment. They want that the internally the employee should be promoted. If the union is strong, they will not let you advertise the job for outsiders. So that will have an impact on the recruitment. Then extent of use of human resource planning, how well you have done human resource planning, because then you will get the correct number of people and type of people required during a particular period of time. So that is human resource planning. It will have an impact on your recruitment plan also. Then lastly, the internal factor is recruitment policy regarding temporary and part-time employee. So this is again a recruitment policy, how many part-time employees, casual employees, or temporary employees you are going to take, or whether you want to go for permanent employees. So that will again affect your recruitment plan. Coming to the external factors, the demand and supply curve of specific skills in the labor market of course have an impact on recruitment. In a place where more number of people are available than the number of jobs, then of course you will get more number of applicants. Then unemployment situation in a particular area or a country. Now in India, we have more and more number of unemployed candidates. So you will get for every single vacancy, the number of applicant will be much higher than any other developed country. Then geographical factors also have an impact on recruitment. Suppose you are in a difficult terrain, then number of people applying for that jobs will be less. Difficult tasks, difficult terrain, naturally lesser number of employees. If you are in a class city, more number of people you will get with every recruitment plan. Then demographic factors also, the composition of demographic composition of people of a particular area will have an impact on your recruitment, in the sense that whether in that society males and females, what is the proportion, whether females are allowed to work or not in that community or not. Then the age wise distribution of the population, if more number of aged people and children are there and lesser number of working population is there, you will get lesser number of employees or prospective employees. Suppose we are talking about the Scandinavian countries or the Northern Europe, their getting manpower is a difficult task, and that's why they fill up the vacancies from people from outside the country. So that is the demographic feature, because lesser number of young population is there in or working population is there. Likewise, the income status will have educational qualification will also have an impact on your recruitment policy. Then the political and legal consideration, we are discussing from the beginning that political or legal consideration also have an impact. Like as I told you that in certain states they say that you can recruit 80% of people only from that state, that is who are domiciled of that state. So that is a political requirement, as well as certain legal requirements are there. Then as we have discussed, the for different reserve categories you have to make provision for that also. So that will have an impact on your recruitment. Now you know that in different educational institution they have made a provision that people from general people or people belonging to unreserved category, now they have one type of reservation, and that is if they are from economically weaker section. So 10% of vacancies and seats will go for these people. Then company's image in the market, as we have discussed earlier also, the organization's image which others have, outsiders have, that will have an impact on the number of people applying for the jobs in the organization and the type of the recruitment policy. The next portion of this lecture is the sources of recruitment, and specifically here we will discuss first the internal sources of recruitment. First internal source is the present employees. The present employees may be permanent employees, temporary employees, or casual employees. Now, temporary and casual employees are there. You can make them permanent. That is one kind of recruitment. That if there are vacancies, you fill it up with temporary and casual employees by making them permanent. When we talk about the permanent employee itself, then there are four ways of recruitment. One is promotion. Now you are well aware that promotion is the vertical upward movement of employees from a lower level job to a higher level job with greater responsibility and higher pay package and benefits. So that is promotion. Now in itself it is quite challenging and motivating for the employees, and it is always a pleasurable thing to get promotion. And if employees get promotion and they are recruited through this method, obviously they will be happy with the job. So next is demotion, which is opposite of promotion, and that is vertical downward movement of employee from a higher level job to a lower level job. But this is rarely done in any organization because it is always negative and demoralizing for the employees, and sooner or later you will find that they will either not work or they will leave the organization. And this is done at extreme cases, like if you have disciplinary action you are taking, then you resort to demotion, or if the economic circumstances are worsening, then they may the organization may resort to demotion, but that will affect the morale of the employees of the organization. Then comes the next one, that is transfer. Transfer is a horizontal movement of employee from one job to another job. We will discuss all these topics when we will discuss promotions and transfers. Now here there is no change as such in the job responsibility, the weightage of job responsibility. All the jobs may differ, but it is at the same level only. And there is no upgradation, there is no increase in the income also. So transfers, although are necessary for the organization whenever there is a shortage and surplus situations in two units of the organization, or for any other purposes, but they affect the life of the employee, especially the family life of the employee. So you should have a transfer policy also, when and where, to whom transfers will be given. Then comes the next one, that is upgradation. So upgradation is basically you are moving a person from one level to a higher level, but without any increase in the salary or compensation. So that is upgradation, because there is a requirement at a higher level. You are giving this opportunity to this employee, but without any monetary benefits probably. So although it may be motivating to some extent that you are getting a challenging job, but actually there is no change in the compensation. Sometimes what you do, you reshuffle the positions in the organization, and because of that a lower level employee may be upgraded to the higher level because of some shuffling in the posts, but actually there is no promotion. Then the second source is retired and retrenched employees. Sometimes retired and retrenched employees are called back by the organization for jobs in the organization. Now this is a very healthy pool of people, because they already know about the organization, they have worked with the organization, and you're giving them an opportunity to work again in the organization, but of course at a lesser salary. So this is not only an opportunity for the retired and retrenched employee, but it is also beneficial for the organization, because you are getting experienced hands at lower salary. So that is retired and retrenched employees, but it can't be a permanent solution for any organization, because these people, they get older and older, and their efficiency may also decrease, or they may exit from the world also. Then the next one is dependents and relatives of deceased and disabled employees. So as a good HR policy, this is there in the certain organizations, that the dependents of deceased and disabled employees are called for the jobs in the organization, they are absorbed in the organization. So it is also, although people are coming from outside, but since they are relatives of the employees who have deceased or became disabled, it is also considered as a internal source of recruitment. So in a way, the organization is fulfilling the social responsibility towards these people, and good HR policies will be considered in that organization. Advantages of internal sources of recruitment. The first advantage is high morale and motivation. If you are taking people from within the organization, especially if you are promoting them to a higher level, then the morale and motivation of employees will be higher. It promotes loyalty and commitment among the employees. They will not leave the organization. A kind of sense of loyalty will be there, because they know that if they stick to the organization, they will be promoted to a higher job, and there are better prospects in the organization. It is less expensive because you need not advertise your post, or you don't have to pay to a consultancy firm. People from within the organization will be taken up. The process is very swift and short, and you don't have to spend much of time and effort. Less time consuming also, related to that only, that it is a swift mechanism, you don't have to advertise, it's not a long process, so it is less time consuming. Suitability of existing employees can be judged better through employee records. You already have records of the employee, you know that these people are working in the organization, they have devoted so many years of service to the organization, all records are there. You look back and you select those candidates to fill up the vacancies in the organization, higher level vacancies especially. Employees are familiar with the organization, so there is no time will not be lost for adjustment and readjustment of employees, because employees already know about the working of the organization. So orientation, induction, you are saved from these duties of or spared from the duties of orientation, induction program and all. Then a better relation with trade unions, as we have discussed that trade unions prefer internal sources, in the sense especially the promotion, that they know that it is beneficial for the employee, and hence better relation can be maintained with the trade union. And lastly, the retention of talented employees. Nowadays talented employees are very scarce, and so many competitors are there to take them away. So if you give them opportunities within the organization in the form of promotions and higher salary and all, then naturally they will not leave the organization. So these are the advantages of internal sources of recruitment. Disadvantages of internal sources of recruitment. We have discussed the advantages, but there are many disadvantages also. The first two are like inbreeding and no infusion of fresh blood, in the sense that if there is inbreeding, if you are taking people from within the organization, the people, they know about of course they know about the working of the organization, but they are not bringing any fresh ideas in the organization. There is an inbreeding. You are taking people from within, and then they will stick to those policies, those ways of doing work and all, but they will not introduce something new in the organization. So there is no infusion of fresh blood, or in the sense fresh knowledge, fresh ways of doing things. So that is one problem of internal sources of recruitment. Then there is restricted choice, that because it might be possible that talented people are available outside, but you are promoting people from within the organization and they might not be that talented. It's because of their seniority that they are moving up the ladder in the organization. So you are missing out on talented people who are available outside the organization. Then promotion generally based on seniority and meritorious persons may be left out, so that we have discussed. So promotions are generally based on seniority. So meritorious people who are sitting outside the organization, they will not get an opportunity for the job, although they may be most suitable for the job. Chances of favoritism is always there when we talk about promotion, even within the organization. If there is a choice, generally because of favoritism, some people move up the ladder. All vacancies cannot be filled up from within. Of course, if you see the organization chart, if people are promoted in the organization, there will be at least one vacancy where which you have to fill from outside, maybe at the lowest level. Suppose everybody is getting promotion, then also there will be one vacancy at the end which have to be filled up from people from outside. That means you cannot totally depend upon the internal sources of recruitment. And lastly, this source is not available to a newly established enterprise. So when an enterprise is setting up, or it's a new enterprise, then of course the question of internal sources of recruitment does not arise. So they have to totally depend upon the external sources of recruitment only. Summarizing this lecture, we can say that recruitment is a linking activity that brings together those who have jobs to fill the organization and those seeking jobs. It aims at generating a pool of potentially qualified candidates. The process of recruitment is influenced by a number of internal and external factors, which we have discussed. The recruitment policy should be well drafted. Internal sources of recruitment are less expensive and less time consuming, but it leads to inbreeding and no infusion of fresh blood. Now, for references, you can go by the Flippo's book, book by C.B. Gupta. There are other books by Dale Yoder, and I believe you have understood this section. Thank you, students. So, this was Module 6, Lecture 1 of Recruitment and Selection.